if you are tired all the time, if you don't have energy or motivation to do anything, if it's hard for you to build muscle or lose fat, it's not your fault. Testosterone might be to blame. And here's the scary part. Today, men have less than half of the testosterone our grandfathers once had. And back in the day, it was normal for a man to have 1000 plus testosterone. And today, you go to the doctor and they say you're fine if you had anywhere between 200 to 800. And that's not fine. That's low testosterone. And in this video, I'm gonna explain how you can fix it, the good habits and the bad habits for testosterone. And trust me, I know exactly how it feels like to be low test, because I test my levels when I was 20 and my testosterone was not even 300. 300 deciliters were super low, and I was supposed in an environment that got me high testosterone. I was in the military, but my hormones were fucked because my habits were a mess and I was literally depressed. So of course you have low testosterone. If you don't want to live, you're not gonna be motivated. So back in the Navy, I found out that my girlfriend was cheating on me and my life fall apart, and basically I didn't want to get out of bed. I was super depressed, super anxious. I didn't want to do anything. Even brushing my teeth was painful for me. I didn't do it most of the times. And since I was like 15 years old, I started early. I started smoking a lot, drinking every weekend. So my habits since ever always suck. And you need to understand that your testosterone, your hormones are influenced by your lifestyle, by your habits. You can have a person that is born like gifted with super high testosterone, but if his routine, if his habits suck, his testosterone is gonna be in the toilet. And that's exactly what happened with me, because I used to have super high energy. I was super competitive like in high school, but I was also playing video games every waking hour, sitting in my computer like this. Of course, you are low testosterone when we are just playing video games all day, watching Netflix, binging like sugar, snacking. And I was drinking every Friday and Saturday. I wasn't sleeping. I was sleeping like 4 hours on the weekends. I was playing and partying. Of course, I didn't want to sleep, and I was young, and I was even smoking a lot, indulging in a lot of drugs, a lot of weed. Of course, my testosterone was in the toilet, but then I was so bad in the Navy, I didn't want to live anymore. It got to a point that the guys that lived with me had to take me out because I couldn't be in bed any more time. I was literally in the Navy. I had stuff to do that was mandatory. So I decided one day to make a change, because otherwise I would jump off my window, and I start implementing some good habits. And that's when everything shifted, because I was a super anxious and like didn't have any drive. I was just living life, smoking, like indulging everything, auto medicine. For me, these bad habits, sometimes you, like if you smoke weed every single day, it's like your therapy. You think you are doing this, you feel good in a moment, but then the high is gone and you're gonna feel bad about yourself. So I was doing all these things, getting drunk to make myself feel better, but I cut everything. And when my energy, my testosterone went up, because my habits start to improving, and finally I start getting energy, I start feeling good about myself. So if you wonder if you have low testosterone or not, I have this here, this page. So if you have low testosterone and constant fatigue, because I was always tired, I didn't want to get out of bed because it feels like I just want to be laid down all day, and even to go to the bathroom was super tiring. So if you have low sex drive or low libido, if you don't even think in girls. Because for me, when I was in my 20s, and this is sad to say, but if I had my video games and my, I was fine. I didn't want even to have girls. I didn't give a fuck about girls. I just want to play video games, and I was super chill. And then if you struggle to build muscle, and if you struggle to lose fat, if you are overweight, of course you don't have testosterone, bro. If you are function, if you do workout, you probably have some friends that you think, bro, this guy is so fucking gifted. Like he goes to the gym one time and he's huge, or he tried to have a good diet and he's already lost like 20 pounds because he's high testosterone. And if you don't have your hormones right, it will be so much harder for you. So if you have mood swings, if you have anxiety, these intrusive thoughts, these negative thoughts, negative self-talk every single day, if you have depression, and this is 5 points to have in consideration, if you have brain fog, if you can't focus, if you can't think, because imagine studying for a test with low testosterone. You are reading the book, you can't even get in your head, like you can't memorize anything, you are just trying to study. That's why you see in your class these guys that do amazing in school, they do amazing in the sports, they do amazing with relationship, with girls, with family, with everything, because it all comes down to your testosterone, bro. The way you feel about yourself, it's so important, your confidence. So if you don't have motivation, if you check 2 or more of this list, bro, look at this. You probably have low testosterone. And literally, I checked every single one when I was 20, 21 years old. And now, I don't have this anymore. I'm fucking high test. And this is the mindset that you need to have. You need to change your mindset, because that will also help you a lot with having high testosterone. And that's why I have this here, because you need to think differently. You need to think how the highest version of testosterone of me would go about this situation. Every time you have a decision to make, you need to think to yourself, this will elevate my testosterone or lower my testosterone. And that's exactly what I'm trying to explain here. Because people that avoid cold expose, that avoid sunlight, they're like, oh, freezing cold water. Bro, they are low testosterone. If you want to have low testosterone, you need to see things differently. You need to put yourself into the cold showers because it's uncomfortable. You need to seek the discomfort. So, daily sun, our ancestors spent the day outside catching sun, eye tests. So, daily sun and cold showers. You need to seek the uncomfortable stuff. Then we have people that say, I will do it later. Of course, I had to record this video. I could say, I will do it later. I have to study for this test. I need to work on this. And if you keep postponing for the future, for your future self, that's a low test mentality. You need to act fast. You need to take action immediately, because success loves speed. If you are here now, you are watching this video, and what you need to do is have this information in your head, understand that testosterone is important for you, and take action immediately. You're not gonna think, oh, maybe I make it, like the next day I will think about it. No, you need to use this information right now and implement it in your life. That's how you change, and that's how you have high testosterone. Again, eating processed junk food, eating sugar, eating bullshit food that doesn't serve you. Of course it's low testosterone, it's full of chemical, full of bad things for your body. Instead, eat real food only. One single ingredient, whole foods, will be helpful for your energy, for everything, for building muscle, for losing fat, for your motivation. Everything is connected to your diet. And basically, the way you see this is the good habits and these are the bad habits. It makes sense, right? Watching Netflix for hours, watching television for hours, watching the news. Bro, of course that's low tests. You need to be high testosterone, lifting weights, training hard, pushing yourself, going to the gym, going outside for a run, do some cardio, do some bike. Bro, that's how it's high testosterone, because you push yourself, you are giving these insides of your body to produce more testosterone. Of course, if you sit all day long watching Netflix, your body doesn't have a reason to produce more testosterone. So that's why is this important, because you need to step out of your comfort zone and go outside and push yourself. Then sleeping 4 to 6 hours, bro. How many people you know that don't sleep? I wasn't sleeping. I was in the Navy. Of course, my testosterone was super crank. Even if you are in a competitive environment in the military, but you are full of guys. There's no girls, and your sleep, which is one of the most important things for testosterone. Your Bro, you need to understand that your testosterone is produced in your deep sleep. So if your sleep is down, gonna have low testosterone. I was sleeping some nights, 2 hours, 3 hours. I had a week in my first year there that I didn't went to the bed for 1 week. 5 days I didn't touch my bed. Of course I slept some hours like in the classes or in lunch break or something like that, but I didn't went to my bed in that week. Imagine my testosterone, imagine my energy levels, imagine my anxiety through the roof, super fucked up of my but was a spirit. It was the first year and was the recruit, so it makes sense. But of course that's low testosterone, because you're gonna be a mess internal. And getting 7 to 9 hours of deep sleep, of quality of sleep. You need to improve your sleep if you want to be high test. Then mindless scrolling and distraction, scrolling on TikTok for 5 hours of the day. Of course that's low testosterone. But if you focus on your goals, if you try to improve yourself, improving daily, you set some goals for the year, for the month, and you go after it. What it's gonna happen to your body? It will produce more testosterone, because now you have ambition, you have a goal that you need to aim, and will give you this motivation to keep working, to keep pushing. And this is why it's so important, because you need to build this momentum. In order to feel these things, you need to start cutting the bad habits and implement the good ones. And it's not that hard. You almost have a list here. At the end of the video, I'm gonna help you how you can start boosting your testosterone naturally, but you need to stay to the end. So, drinking alcohol every weekend. If you are going out, partying, staying up late, what do you expect? Of course, your testosterone will go down, but if you prioritize your health, your recovery, if you meditate, if you do breathing work, if you do grounding, things that will help you recover fast, that will balance your hormones, that you need to see yourself as a temple. And every time you have a decision, again, you need to think to yourself, this will higher my testosterone or lower my testosterone. If you just do that, out of this video, just get that point, that every time you are contemplating, if you need to understand that will be one or another. You can't maintaining in life doesn't exist. You are growing or you are dying. So if you focus on your health and recovery and sleeping better and eating better and work out properly, don't burning out, things like that, managing your stress, of course that will help with everything. And you need to see your body and your mind and as a temple, and they are connected, and you need to treat them right. You need to treat them like if it's your best friend, because it's more than that. It's the person you're gonna be in your body for the rest of your life. It's you, bro, only you, that will live there every day until the day you die. And this is messed up. And I used to do all these things every single day, and that's why I'm so focused on myself right now. That's why I do these things, because it will improve every aspect of your life. You will feel better, the most important thing is getting out of your bed motivated, like with this drive in yourself, with this purpose of getting out as fast as possible, because you love your life, and that's what I want for you. Because if you cut the bad habits, and I know they feel great in the moment, you are with your friends, you are indulging in these things, they feel amazing, but it's the instant gratification, and after a couple hours, the next day, you look back and you regret these things because they are not good for you. And we have this internal voice that literally super simple, you can tell what is good for you and what is bad for you, because you have deep down this voice that every time you are smoking, every time you are drinking, it says that, bro, this is not the best thing for your body, the best thing for your mind, this is not that good for you. I know that you're having fun and you are indulging from time to time, but you know deep down that's not good for you. And the beauty of these parts, the beauty of going to the gym, of pushing yourself, it's even if it's hard in the moment, the reward will last forever, bro. And when you look back to the work that you have put in, you will feel proud of yourself, and you will feel good, and you will feel proud. And this is just, I've been in the both sides, and I choose this one every fucking time. So listen, because you probably have heard this before and these concepts, but some people just don't born, like they don't do this bad stuff. I ruined my teens pretty bad. I did some mess up stuff, and I know what is being, what's the difference between the both sides. So and I was finished this. Complaining and blaming others, bro, this one is a big one. Who thinks is more testosterone? The people that you just always complaining, always said, oh no, I got traffic now, oh this guy just passed in front of me, or everything that happens bad to me, why is this happening to me? Like, why am I the chosen? I always have bad luck. You can't complain. If you complain, you are low test, but you can't blame others besides yourself. You are ownership of everything that happens to you, and you need to understand that everything that happens to you is your responsibility, is your fault. The position, if you are broke now, if you are fat now, it's your fault. It's the fault from the past decisions that you made, and you need to take ownership of it. That's how the only way that you gain control. If you blame others, if you don't take responsibility, you can never change, and you can't control. You are giving the control to other people. If you blame something bad happened to you and you blame the other people, you are giving them the control. But if you blame yourself, you can get better, you can improve. So take responsibility and be a leader, bro. Imagine the leaders, of course they are high testosterone. So you need to have this mindset of leadership, of taking ownership of everything. And now you need to apply these habits and put it in your own life. The most important thing is think how my high testosterone version, like the plus 1000, would respond to this, would do to this, would do go there or go this way. You need to understand and implement it every single day. And if you want to boost your testosterone naturally, you can check the first link in the description. But it's super simple if you focus on the 3 most important pillars: sleep, diet, and training. That's it, bro. You already know these things. Sleep, diet, eating real food only, sleeping 8 hours per night, and working out. You need to push yourself in order your body to produce more testosterone. Of course, you have a lot of smaller things that you can implement. So I have a book that tells you 75 ways to boost your testosterone. Simple habits that you can implement. Let me know if you want that ebook in the comments, and see you in the next one. Bye.